Wow, time is moving fast. We're already halfway through 2021, and it's been a pretty good year in the world of gaming so far. Before we get into the meat of the next half of the year, I wanted to take a look back at my personal favorite games this year. So many options to choose from, but I managed to narrow it down to just 3 games. These 3 developers have shown me that even when the world has been brought to a standstill, truly great masterpieces can be brought to life with enough passion and care. These 3 games have delivered unforgettable experience to me and millions of others, and made being away from friends and family at least a little more bearable. Please keep in mind that these games are not in order of preference but of release date, and without further ado, I think it's about time we kick off the list. In a time where pretty much everyone was staying at home, a game about going on a road trip with your friends and exploring Japan is exactly what a lot of us needed. However, Persona 5 Strikers is more than just a road trip with your friends. It's a sequel to one of the most acclaimed JRPGs of all time. The 50-ish hour adventure is one I'm very critical of, yet still adore. On one hand, the plot can be bloated and forced at times, and the different dungeons, called jails this time around, can drag on for way too long and overstay their welcome by a long shot. On the other hand, the combat is insanely fun and over the top. The visuals are as beautiful as ever, and at least one of the new cast members will go down as one of my all-time favorite Persona characters. Being able to reunite with this fun and charismatic group once again was 100% worth it in the end. And don't even get me started on the music. Lynn is once again the lead vocalist this time around, and just like in the original Persona 5 and Royal, she absolutely kills it. I haven't even mentioned the stellar remixes of some of the classics from the original Persona 5. You never see it coming. Strikers was an extremely fun experience, and a great kickoff to start the year. It's not a perfect game by any means, but if you like Persona 5 and the Phantom Thieves, you'll at the very least have fun with this one. I can understand if this game didn't land for everyone. You can definitely see why people could be disappointed in it. That's definitely fine that they think that, but the pros far outweigh the cons for me. I can only hope that Persona 5 Arena is on the way so I can once again have my heart stolen by this ragtag group of friends. Until next time, Phantom Thieves.
Now, let's take a look at him. Well, Ethan Winters. You escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you? Let's see how special you are.
Village surprised me. It surprised me with its different take on Ethan after his disappointing debut in RE7. It surprised me with the emotional tale of a father trying to find his daughter, and the brutal things he'll go through to achieve his goal. It surprised me because of its absolutely insane direction it took with its narrative, but most of all, it surprised me by being a polished and replayable single-player game in a time where game devs were working from their homes. In my 8-ish hour playthrough of Village, I was met with maybe 1 or 2 bugs, while being served some of the best Resident Evil content I'd ever had the pleasure of playing. From the village itself to a castle of a certain internet celebrity, every inch of this game was fun to explore and discover new things in. The weapons all felt great, with a lot of enemy variety and bosses that provided a unique experience for most Resident Evil games. The story itself was not only absolutely crazy even when compared to other Resident Evil games, but also emotionally gripping and personal. I started the game thinking Ethan was going to be the same boring vessel he was in RE7, but could not have been more wrong. He was improved in almost every way, and I now hold him with the GOATs like Leon and Jill. The brilliant voice acting from his voice actor, Todd Soley, also did a phenomenal job selling me on this new portrayal of Ethan. I can confidently say that this is the only Resident Evil game where I actually started to tear up a little during the ending. Village hasn't been even without its criticisms, and just like Strikers is far from a perfect game. The game becomes especially tedious during the factory level, but it's not enough to bring this game down for me. With the way it ended, I'll be waiting patiently to see where they take the story from here, and hopefully some of the questions that were left hanging in Village will be properly answered in Resident Evil 9, whatever they decide to call that one.
Ethan Winters, welcome.
Guys, I've lied to you all. This video was clickbait. This was never a video about my favorite games this year. I just wanted an excuse to talk about Guilty Gear. Over the past few years, I've struggled to really connect with any fighting game. There were some I'd play for a while, but they would never really hold my attention long enough for me to stick with them. MK11 frustrated me. I didn't have hundreds of hours of time to invest into learning Tekken, and I didn't grow up with DBZ, so I couldn't really connect to that one like the others did. In VCI, the gameplay was fun, but I don't think I need to explain why the game didn't really click with me. You probably know why. On top of not connecting with many recent fighting games themselves, the amount of friends I had that actually played fighting games was very limited. That meant I had to dive online to fight other people, which also meant I had to deal with the horrendous online most of these fighting games had. Remember this, okay? You'll be quizzed later. With all the things I just said, you may be shocked to find out that fighting games are by far my favorite genre. During this drought I had been experiencing, I stumbled across Drive. I don't remember exactly when or where I heard about it, but I jumped onto the hype train pretty fast, hoping this would be the game to bring me back into the mix. After jumping into both open betas and waiting through a delay, release day finally came, and I was one happy gamer. The music was even better than I was expecting. The characters were all fun and had different playstyles, not to mention all of their designs are gorgeous, and the online was just perfect. The game uses rollback netcode, and I can confidently say that I've only had about 2 major lag moments that killed the pace of the match. Out of all the matches I've played, that's an impressive number. I could actually go online and have smooth matches with people. Not only that, but thanks to the floor ranking system, almost everyone I fought was of similar skill level. I never matched against someone that was way less experienced, or someone who would stomp me in seconds. But let's take a break from the online for a moment. Let's talk about the characters and music some more. At first glance, the roster might seem a little weak compared to other fighting games, and if we're going by numbers, you wouldn't be wrong. There are 15 playable characters, which would normally be a very limited roster. While the roster may not be expansive, you can tell they went the quality over quantity route here. Each character has so much care put into them that I ended up liking the fact that there aren't 40 characters at launch. I haven't even started talking about each of their themes yet. I'm just going to say my honest opinion here. I think every single character theme in this game is a bop. I've been listening to them on repeat since the game came out, and I regret nothing. The game is visually stunning. At times, you may actually forget the character models are 3D and not anime sprites. This isn't ARC's first time using the art style, but I think it's done best here. I've been writing the script for about 30 minutes now, and I just realized I haven't even properly talked about the gameplay yet. The fighting in this fighting game feels good, y'all. Like, really good. This video isn't meant to be a proper review, so I'll keep it brief. All the fundamentals in a fighting game are here. What makes this one special is how meaty things feel and how much fun the RC is. Roman Cancel, or RC for short, is a move that costs 1 meter and can be used for both offense and defense. You can use it for extending combos, canceling moves early, and both applying and escaping pressure. I cannot properly explain in words how much fun RC is to use combined with the already fun characters. I think my biggest gripe with this game is how high the damage is. Since it's best 2 out of 3, matches can end in barely a minute because of the insane damage output. I see 2 fixes for this. A, add another round to make matches longer and more tense, or B, simply decrease the damage across the board. Pick your poison. In terms of single player content, you pretty much only have the arcade mode. There's a story mode, but it's more or less an anime. It has just under a 5-hour runtime, and if I'm being completely honest, it's without a doubt the worst part of the game. Unless you're a diehard Guilty Gear fan, there won't be much here for you, and even then, you might be better off just reading a quick summary of what happens. Okay, I think it's about time we start wrapping things up. As a newcomer to the Guilty Gear series, this game absolutely blew me away, and I think you guys could tell. This is without a doubt my favorite game of the year. I love Village and Strikers, but they don't even begin to compare it to the impact this game had on me. Since playing Strive, I've picked up Accent Core and have been having a ton of fun with it. I may be late to the Guilty Gear party, but I'm here to stay. Thank you for making me fall in love with my favorite genre of my favorite hobby again, Guilty Gear. Hey everyone, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, a like would mean the world. This is my first time making a video of this scale, so let me know how I did in the comments please. And while you're down there, let me know the games you've been enjoying this year. There's a ton I haven't gotten around to, so sorry if I didn't get to play your favorite game yet. And that's all. I hope you have a good rest of your day and stay safe out there. Bye bye!